Hi, everybody. I hope that you're having a wonderful Monday. I know um, we're off on our schedule, but I wanted to just get on and still show that when things happen, we can still press and find a way. Um, I hope that you guys had a wonderful day and that this is something that can support you guys as you're going through your own financial journeys. This is something that the Lord had given me a while back, and if I would have known a quarter of the things that I would have known, it would have saved me a lot of time. So um I just hope that it does the same for you all. And I'm just gonna get right into it. I'll make it as short as I can. You can find it on Marketplace Mondays on every platform. Right now we're on YouTube. We have a Discord page, a Facebook page. We're on Alignable. Just keep us up to date with anything that you have, and we will support as well. We want to stay we want to stay in order. So if you need anything, I'll do my best to reach out to the right folks. And just thank you for joining. I hope this is really beneficial. So I'm going to just begin. Welcome to Marketplace Mondays, where we discuss faith-based concepts for finances to help people learn how to grow their money. I was sitting here and I was on a phone call. My sister, she said, "Read the parable of the talents," and I made a decision to sit myself down and to ask the Lord, "What are you saying?" And it was the time that I needed it because I was sitting here for a long time and I didn't know what to do. And it was with this song that I'm going to start playing right now with one person that I really enjoy. He was someone that I got contacted with many moons ago, but it just encouraged me. So I hope it does the same for you. Listen to a few seconds of "I'll Be Okay" by Derek Minor.
May not go my way, still in my face. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Running out, just that I can't make some mistakes, but learn to do things. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I've been through it all. I've been through it all.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure did when I was preparing. It just encouraged me so much. So I hope it does the same for you. Just thank you again for joining. If you need something, reach out. I'll do my best to connect you with everyone. So let's start. Right now, we are going to talk about why it's important to expense our finances because a lot of times we just spend and we don't understand that we can't just be spending. I know our culture usually says if I have it, got it, let's just throw it out there and get what we want, but that's not right. We need to be honest with ourselves and just say, I haven't been faithful. I haven't been diligent. I haven't done the things that I know I can, and we need to just sit with ourselves and come to a conclusion and just say, okay, I know I've done this, but let's keep going. Let's keep going so that we can learn. If we learn, then we can apply. But if we're not learning, we can't do anything. So I'm gonna just keep scrolling. We're gonna probably go through some of these, not all of them. Um, the first thing is the welcome, and we just did that. We'll go through a little intro. I'll tell you some things about myself, why I started it, and what I hope to do with it. After that, we'll go into the practical application. And then if you guys have any questions, send me a message, marketplacemondays@gmail.com. All we need is a laptop or an iPad with Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets. You can have your Bible at hand. We won't be going through it, but it's always good to have it at hand and be glad. There's so many things that we can be doing, but the Lord allowed us to see another moment. So I just hope that it brings you as much peace as it brings me. And one part that I want to do too is just have us look into World Vision. It really is a wonderful organization. They support people all over. I recently I recently looked into them and sent them something. It wasn't financial, but if we just do something a little bit, just to help other people. I think it'll really help us as we go forward as well. If you guys have it, you're more than willing to use the link and just get anything that you can, if it's a word of encouragement, if it's a prayer, whatever it may be, doesn't have to be finances. If God puts it on you, then great. If not, that is okay. The main thing is, just to think about other people, pray for them, and it'll help get water for women in another country and their children. There's a big thing going on overseas, and I know in our culture we just tend to look at ourselves, but when we step outside and we realize the Lord has given us world. He's given us life. So let's look at other people outside of ourselves. And our goal is to raise $1 million by 2027. So if you guys have or you guys want to, feel free. We're gonna have this going. And also, I'm not going to take anything tonight, but if you guys would like to, you're more than willing to press donate and donate anything. Just asking for $5. If you have it, that's all right. And if not, that is totally okay. It's just to support the maintenance of the platform. We do a lot and we want to just continue to grow and it'll really help. So, whatever the Lord leads you to. Um, so let's get right into it. I am a regular human being. I do not have a I don't have a financial degree. I don't have, all of the things. I did take a bookkeeping class and I did do the Ramsey course, but I'm not a financial wizard. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not somebody that has all of their finances together, but I do want to understand and I do want to talk to other believers who have done well so that I can learn. I really want to grow and this is just sharing what I do have in hopes that it'll help somebody else and we can support one another. So math isn't my strong suit. I'm going to be very honest. I failed college math. I failed remedial math in college. I had to take remedial math in college and not just once, twice. So doing this is definitely something I never would have imagined before. I never understood why math was important or why finance and money was valuable. But um, as I've grown, I just come to understand we have to be mindful. We really need to know why finances are where they are. And the only way to do that is if we look at them. So, like I said, I'm not a financial expert, and I already shared that my background is in media. I was a producer. I worked as an administrator, and that's where I am right now. So, you guys do not have to have it all the way going. We are learning together. And like I said, we're going to just do a little overview. The first thing that we're going to do is talk about why we need to have accounts. We need to have accounts because we need to have a breakdown of where our finances are. If we don't know where our finances are, we can't prepare. And we have to do the work and really be aware of why we are where we are. If we don't know why we are where we are, then we can't grow. Why are you in the same financial pit? What choices have you made? What's your focus? What are some of those things that you maintained that worked and what are some things that can grow? So I think just having that balance of not being too hard and not being too low because we want to get to a place where we're stable, right? We want to get financially stable. And when we're financially stable, then we can start doing other things. But we have to make sure that our four walls are covered. That's food, transportation, clothing, communication. I learned that with my mentor. Her name is I'm not gonna say her name, but she's wonderful. She was a woman that went through her own, and she has a great story. And I would love to have her on just to tell us about how the Lord was able to bless her, and she was able to get herself to order. And that's where we are right now. We want to just get ourselves in order. And um, yeah, so one thing that I learned while I was with her is that we just need to have our four walls covered. Again, that is food, that is transportation, that is communication, that is clothing. So we need to have those four things together, right? I know a lot of people are in other places and you might not even have the means to do that. And I understand, trust me. And if you're in that position, there's ways out. So just leave your name, leave your email, and we'll just do whatever we can to help support. So if you're in a position where, you have your accounts, but you don't understand how you don't understand how to manage them, right? Like you have your savings, you have your checkings, but you don't review it, right? Like you're just spending, you don't really understand why. And this is just preliminary, just so that you can diligently follow a system that worked for me when I was in that position. But again, I'm not a financial coach. I'm not an advisor. I'm just somebody who wants to share their story so that it can bring some encouragement and some hope and some faith so that you can be improved. So the first thing that I had to do was write an Excel spreadsheet. And now we're going to go to it. I was praying and I said, God, please be in my finances because I do not know what I'm doing. I don't know. And I was afraid too. I was afraid to invite God in my finances, but he's kind. He is a faithful father and he is so good to us. He gave me something that I didn't even know I can do. I'm not an Excel girl. I'm not a math person, as I stated, but over the years, I've developed this back end system that has just been able to just outline what was in my bank statements. Bank statements are good because you can look at it, but they don't teach you how to look at it and assess where you are. And not only just type it in, but withdraw the contents so that you can assess why you're spending in certain places. Who are the people you're giving to? Why are you spending this way? And I think that's a major thing is to know why are we spending what we're spending? A lot of times it's because we feel it. Right. But if we feel something, that's not always the right thing. We have to tell our money where to go. I got that from Dave Ramsey. We have to be able to share how we got to where we are so that other people can get there. And I didn't get here alone. I got here through many, many, many wonderful men and women of the Lord who have taught me and showed me all the good things that I know. So I want to just shout out all the people. Tiffany the budgetista, she was able to help me get to my financial place. My parents, they were able to help me. My grandparents, my mentor, like I stated, Dave Ramsey, another sister. So it wasn't just me, it was Jesus and he sent people. So I hope that we all understand that we can't walk alone. And as we're walking this out, we're going to need help. Um, so the first thing that I want to share with you guys is this Excel sheet. It's broken down from the month because every month we want to make sure we know where everything is. I usually use my apps. You can do it on your laptop or on your cell phone and just open up your mobile app and pull up the statement for the month. Whatever month that we're in. I'm using 2024 because I did a full year. So if you start in January, you're able to create a new sheet and you're able to see how it went from this to this. So every time I do it, I usually do my best to just update it a little because I learn more. And that's good, right? We want to make improvements over time, right? So if you feel like you've outgrown it or there's another way, then go for it, right? The whole thing is understanding. So I'll just start right here. I broke it down by category. We have our accounts at the top. We have a monthly start, a monthly end, a monthly balance for each account. And then we also have it broken down by the week. So there's usually 4 weeks, sometimes five. On the right, on the left-hand side, we have all of our different bank accounts, right? We have one for our bills, we have one for our savings. If you have another savings, that's okay. And then we have our amount of cash. You want to just outline the different accounts that you have, just so it's all in one place. And tax reasons why too, you can send this to your tax accountant and he'll be able to look at it. He, she, they'll be able to look at it and just share all of that information with them. And it's clearly outlined. If you're 1099 and you don't have a W-2, which is someone who works for an employer, a 1099 is someone who is a freelancer and who works independently. You're able to share this with them. So after we get into that, the first thing we want to do is write how much we have coming in. That's our income. That's how much someone pays us, right? We get direct deposits. Sometimes people send us gifts. Sometimes, there's an error in our account and we get a refund, right? But our income is what someone pays us for what we do. So that money usually goes into what I like to call your high yield savings. And we do that so that our money is automatically growing. A lot of people don't do that, but that's something I wanted to do. So I hope it's helpful. If you want to do something else, please feel free. But this is something that I did. And then once we have our bills, we're able to take from our savings and put it into our bills account so that when the month comes, all of our statements are already done. We don't have to worry about if the rent is paid or the groceries are good or anything like that because everything that we need to expend is in this account and we're not taking from our nest egg, our not nest egg, we're not taking um from our storehouse essentially. And then if you want another savings, you're more than willing to have that for, I don't know, a special thing. And then I like to spend my money, sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. I haven't done it in a long time, but it's always good to manage your cash. So if you have cash on hand, you can account for that as well. So then after that, I like to tithe. A tithe is the 10% is the first thing that you give back to the Lord. So once you get direct deposit, you can take 10% out of it, and it doesn't matter how much you make, it's 10%. If you get $5, you put in, what is that? Like like 50 cents. You put in 50 cents. If it's $500, 50, so I'm sorry, $5, right? So, you just have to, I forgot what I said. I don't know if I said 550. Long story short, 10%, right? So you just put in 10% and you give it back to your church. And the Lord is really faithful. He was able to work a wonder with me, and I know he can do the same with you guys. And it's really important that you do it as the first thing, not the second, because he is God. We want to love him and show him we love him. So we always want to tithe as number one. If you skip it, just repent and just change. We don't want to go, into this thing where it's like, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Look, he is God. He sees our heart, but don't make it habit, right? We want to make sure that our heart is postured to him at all times. And that's why this tracker is important because you're able to see what day did you get paid and what day did you tithe, right? As soon as the direct deposit comes, just do it, just automatically let it come out of your heart, let it flow from your heart because we're just remembering who God is and that he is the one that blessed us with everything that we have. And then also, if you like to give on top of that, it's called offering. I like to because, people need, right? And he put us on earth to help others. So it's tithes and offering. And you can budget that. You can let the Lord lead you, but do it cheerfully. Whatever he thinks, whatever he says, just listen to God, just give whatever it is that he says, right? Next, we want to do some savings and investings, right? Like we have our savings account. How much do we want to put aside? I used to have a really good idea of how much I wanted to save. I would love to, say I've been doing that, but look, we're all learning, right? So when we save, we're basically supporting ourselves, right? We're making sure for a future we're taken care of. We're not just thinking about the next day. And I know a lot of us aren't in that place, but we want to strive for that, right? One thing I learned is that you want to have at least $1,000, right? I like to have at least 5,000 or, $3,500 to start, right? And we have to work to get there, but it's always somewhere to start, right? If it's $5, if it's $10, if it's $1, whatever it is, just put your money aside and don't spend it because you never know what's going to happen. Next, we have our taxes. I know some of you are W-2. I know some of you are 1099. So it just depends on your tax range. For those of us who are freelance, we have to pay taxes. That's something I didn't know, and I hope to talk about much more. But if you have to pay taxes, it's always good to put another 10% aside for that as well. Next, we have our expenses. These are our fixed expenses. Those are the same things that come out every month, every time, same amount, right? So we have the budgeted amount, which is the amount that we know is going to cost every single month. They usually tell us the day that it's going to come out. And then, sometimes, there'll be an error, a mismanagement or something like that. And it might be an overcharge, or undercharge, a mischarge, anything like that, right? So you put in the actual amount and then you put the date paid, right? Because there's a day that it's due and there's a day that it's posted and a day that you paid it, right? So we just like to make sure those days match up. And then you want to say what account it came from. If it's under the fixed expenses account, it should always be in your bills account, right? And then as you're looking over time, you're able to see why did it come out of this? Why did that come out of that? So we're able to make those adjustments. The merchant is the person or the vendor. So you can send it to a friend, you can send it to your local communications, you can send it to your insurance company. That's what your merchant is, right? We want to know who we're paying, right? We want to know where our money is going. So this is a really good step. Next, the payment method, right? If we're doing the bills account, it's good to try to put our bills on auto pay if we have it. It takes a while, it takes a minute to probably get used to it, but it's so much easier because you don't have to think about it. So, if that's something you guys are able to do, go for it. And I know fear tells us, oh, I don't need to, I don't need to, but no, auto pay really does help. Um, Another payment method is Zelle. If you do anything else, just share how you made that payment. And I like to do this a lot too. Just explain, right? Not that you need to, but it's helpful to recap when you do your weekly meetings and then your monthly advisory meetings, just to say, okay, what did I spend? Why did I spend? What happened? And how can it be adjusted? And I really want this to be better. The receipts part. There's another place where I put my receipts, and it's just to show I'm keeping them, and if I need them for taxes, I have them as an example. Next are your other expenses, right? What are some other things that you have to pay for that aren't fixed, that change over time, right? So gas, right? You just put an overall number of how much gas would be. Therapy, you might go once a week, you might go every other week, it just really depends. And then your subscriptions, right? And I didn't put subscriptions under fixed expenses because it wasn't mandatory. So my fixed expenses are my four walls, my rent, my communication, my insurance. I don't buy clothes. Um, and then, of course, we have to do groceries, but that's not here either. So that's usually on fixed expenses. So let me put that right here. So it's like your gas, your groceries, anything that just fluctuate throughout the month. If you want to do clothing, you can do that too. Um, but yeah, so these are your other expenses, and you just do the same thing. It's all at the top. I like to break it down with these little highlighters just so that it's divided, right? I like to make sure that these things are, just a little bit cleaner. The next is debt. One thing I learned is pay your debt. We should owe no man nothing but love. So I'm doing my best to pay off my debt, and the Lord blessed me to have so much help to learn how to pay off my debt, and I paid off my credit card debt. So I have no credit card debt by the grace of God, and I do not want to go back. So um, that's a wonderful thing too. Again, if you have taxes, if you have someone that does your taxes for you, they're called a CPA. Um, Situations happen, you have to make other payments, again, taxes and taxes. So you want to just break that out of how much you owe them, the day that it's due, the actual amount, the date paid. And I'm showing you this in real time because I don't have it all the way together, but I am trying my very, very best. And I think that's the place that we want to get to is we're just doing our absolute best to try to get to the place that we want to be, right? So then the next line item is personal. So with our personal is anything outside of our expenses, the bills that go to other people. This is what we do for ourselves, right? So we have our household needs, right? That's like cleaning supplies, toiletry, any of those things, right? Personal care is like if we get our nails done, if we get our hair done, eyebrows, all of that. And one thing also that I noticed that we also do a lot is miscellaneous things we don't account for. And that's something that we want to minimize, right? This was 2024, so I've developed since then. I know it says a lot right now, but I just wanted to show you guys, the real that, it's a process, it's a journey. It took me a long time and I'm still not there, but I do want to get better. So the random things that we would spend our money on, right? Like Amazon Prime, like ice cream, like Audible, Lyft, like, we put a line item for it, but it shouldn't be the main thing. If we know we're going to be doing something, let's think about it before the month starts so that we're able to account for it at the end. And then even you're able to see unknown, unknown, unknown. Like, why did you do that? Like If you can't recall something, then just flag it, right? Don't let it leap into the next month, right? Like let it be finished at this point and don't go back to it, right? Make the adjustments, cancel the membership. If you notice a habit or a pattern or something, let's just try not to repeat it. I know things happen, but we want to tell our money where to go and we want to limit the miscellaneous, right? We want to have as little miscellaneous as possible because if you have fun money, you can put it there, right? I was in a place where I was very tight with everything. I just wanted to get everything locked under control. So this was a learning curve as well. Um, if you have a random fee or something like that that just came out and you didn't know, um, you just put that there as well. Just additional fees. And then I put business right here, but I have a separate one for my business. I have a separate card for my business and I have a separate account for my business when I was in business. And then also another thing I did too was transferring to my savings account and withdrawals from my savings account. Remember, I said in the beginning that we have a direct deposit account, right? We have our direct deposit account. Let me move to a different one. We have our direct deposit account, right? Our bills account. And because we have our bills account, we don't want to use all of our savings, right? And if we notice that we have a lot of our savings being transferred out, we want to get that under control, right? Like, why are we transferring? We should be doing large payments. We should be able to do large lump sums of our monthly bills so that we're not doing it sporadically throughout the month, right? Like we want to make sure at the beginning of the month we transfer all of our bills into the bills account so that we're not doing this, right? Like we don't want a large transfer from our savings account, right? We want to do as minimal as possible. Um, if this is something you like, let me know. I can duplicate it and send it to you all in a clean version. I would love to answer any questions. I know it's late. I don't want to keep anybody. And I am so glad that we were able to have this talk. Um, if there's anything that you guys would like to see or be a part of, or any interest that you have, just let me know. I would love to support you guys. Um, Takeaways, like we said, what is a bills account, right? A bills account is where we put all of our bills. This is our four walls: food, transportation, communication, and clothing, right? We can also put insurance there if we want. But those are our bills. Those are the things that need to come out. You can, the debt can be in there too, right? All of those things, all of our bills come out of that account, not personal, not household. Those are bills, things that we need to get paid, right? Business account, right? If you need to buy supplies, if you have equipment, whatever it is, right? If you're paying somebody, something completely different. We do not mix personal bills and business. We do not mix business and personal. And we do not mix bills and our savings and our business. Our savings is for our future selves. We want to protect ourselves for the long term, right? The benefits, some of the benefits is just being very organized, right? When we're organized, we're able to make better choices. If we're all over and we can't really account for our finances, what else can't we account for, right? And I think it just gives us a level of peace, right? I think that's something Dave Ramsey always says is we want peace, right? We want peace in our finances. So I think that's one of the things. The cost, starting accounts, I think you probably have to have a direct deposit of maybe $500, or you might have a small fee like $6 or $12, just depending on the bank account. But you can usually have that ended if you're doing direct deposit, right? So if you're in a place where you don't have direct deposit and you need to just you just need to find a job, or you know you're in another situation, just consider the accounts that are open to you. There are places that can offer you accounts at low rates. Um, and then how to manage it, right? We just talked about that. So if you have specific questions, reach out. And this is for anyone that has a job or regular income and someone who wants to grow and just be a better steward of their finances. So it was just based on a proverb, but I'm not a scholar or anything like that. It was just something that I thought would be well. We want to just make sure we name our accounts, right? Because if you name it, you'll be able to understand, right? Um, but yeah, the proverb is know your sheep by name, right? So we have the direct deposit, like what we said, the account that gets our income, the savings, right? The savings account is the direct deposit account. And then the business account, right? That's where we do our business. We buy our products, we buy our supplies, we buy our labels, we get our merchandise, the things that we're going to sell, our subscriptions, whatever it is, the location, the permits, the fees, the insurance, all of those things go here. Our taxes, all of that go into our business account. Then our bills account, right? What did we just say? All of our bills go into one place. And I highly recommend we open a high yield savings account just so we can gain some interest, right? And we also talked about it to make your bills account, try to transfer it at least 3 to 5 days before the first of the month, depending on your bank. You don't want to lapse and you don't want your bills to be paid late. We want to pay our bills early and on time at all times. And we also want to know how much we need for each month and review it every month. This is something that we want to do weekly. If you want to set a day on a Sunday or a Saturday, whatever day works well for you, set aside an hour, right? If you set up this template and you just go through your expenses, you just pop it in and you'll be able to see everything. It shouldn't take more than an hour. Um, I think that's pretty much it. I know we have other things to do, but I want to just say I'm really excited about what we're going to be talking about. I hope you guys have the most wonderful evening, and just thank you for your patience. Thank you for your time. If you want to reach out to me, you are more than welcome to. This is our contact information. We're going to post this on YouTube. We have a group, but I realized that it didn't work the way I wanted to, so we might remove ourselves from it. And if you want to support, you can use this link right here. And again, I'm just gonna say this disclaimer. I'm not a financial expert, so please, please, please consult a professional. I just wanted to share what information I could to help you guys get on track. Um, if we have an issue, then just please reach out to marketplacemondays@gmail.com to find a way to communicate and we can come to a middle ground. But we do not want to be held, we want to hold ourselves accountable. So I'm gonna share this with my family and the people around me just so that they see what I'm doing. And yeah, just if we can just have a good time doing this so that we're not holding each other, onto unreliability or anything. Um, and again, we're just doing this to share what we learned, right? I wish I would have learned most of these things before. And I'm just hoping that as we have these conversations with more people who have done it, who know how to not just expense an account, but who know how to increase, who know more than we do, so that we can go from one place to another and pray that we do it faithfully. So I love you guys. I hope you have the most wonderful week, and we will see you next time.